Welcome back to Sportscaster.com's open mic here on WJR. The next young man we'll be hearing from is a senior at Saline High School just outside of Ann Arbor, Michigan, named Cody Stedman. Cody will be attending Washtenaw Community College, majoring in journalism. And there are a number of different interviewing styles on radio. And just like musical tastes, the variety is what makes the world work. And I like listening to NPR. I generally like that interviewing style. And Cody Stedman, I think you bring a little bit of that flavor. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Johnny. I really did learn from the best through my CTE course that I'm taking at Saline High School through the South and West Washtenaw Consortium. It really has given me such a huge opportunity to really take a deep dive into the world of broadcast journalism.
Yeah, it's fabulous. And especially when you get opportunities at a younger age to start to develop and then hone it, trying to get the right cadence, the pauses, the inflection. You've got a good base for where you are right now. And I thought it was cool. You had an opportunity to interview Jamie Edmonds, who's a sports reporter. She's been in this market for more than a decade now. And I know a lot of our listeners may know Jamie as a co-host on WJR and also a contributor at wdiv, which is Local 4 here in Detroit. At one time, she was working alongside my good friend, Bernie Smilovitz. What did you learn about Jamie Edmonds?
What I learned about Jamie is that she really took a route thinking that she always wanted to do something with sports and took journalism as something that would have her be up on the sidelines and really have a good opportunity to report on what she has been hearing. And after gaining her master's, she soon found out that sports journalism was just for her after going to wdiv.
Here's Cody Stedman from Saline High School with WJR radio personality and wdiv local sportscaster, Jamie Edmonds.
The voice we hear on the sideline, in the booth, or in the studio. Sports broadcasters have always helped emphasize and lead their viewers about the sport they're covering. One of them helps us in our waking hours. I'm Cody Stedman from Sportscaster, and today we talk with sports reporter from WDIV Detroit and talk show co-host for WJR's JR Morning Show, Jamie Edmonds, on her time in the broadcasting industry so far and how her journey really started. Jamie, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. What an intro.
So, to start off, what got you interested in journalism?
Well, it started with my love of sports and going to games with my dad. I just loved hockey. I'm from Pittsburgh. Don't hold that against me, but I do love the Penguins. They're my top, maybe Steelers second. But just this love of sports from going to games and seeing greatness, the best of the best, Jerome Bettis, Mario Lemieux, etc. And then I said, how can I parlay that into some kind of job? So that led me down the sportscasting path. And then I just figured Northwestern University is the it spot. So I went there and everything sort of flowed from there.
A note that I have that you went to University of Delaware and majored in journalism. One of the things that I saw on there that you won the 2002 figure skating championship. Talk to us a little bit about that.
You did your homework here. That's definitely true. I went to University of Delaware because I wanted to continue my skating career. And I was on the collegiate team when I was there. And so I'm a freshman on this team of really good skaters. And we went to, ironically, University of Michigan for nationals. And we skated against a lot of teams. A lot of the Ivy League schools back when I started were involved. And what happens in collegiate skating is you perform alone and then you get points for the team. And so I skated there, and through our team efforts, we won that year. So yeah, I'm a national champion and pretty proud of it.
Great to hear. You then went on to and graduated from University of Delaware in journalism, and then you continued on to Northwestern in journalism and broadcast journalism. What made you want to pursue sports journalism beside your interest in sports?
Well, sports is fun. I mean, it's not life or death, and it can really rally a community. It could, get people all on the same page who aren't normally on the same page. I just love sports for the way it can do that. And when I was at University of Delaware, I wrote for the school paper and I did all kinds of journalism, but I particularly loved covering sports. And I had a really great professor back at Delaware who was a writer for the Philadelphia Inquirer, and he took us to a Flyers game. So you sat in the press box, watched the game, wrote a post-game article. And so that sort of fueled my love for wanting to do it in the sports world. And I remember going back and forth with my parents about which journalism school to go to, because Northwestern doesn't specialize in sports. It's the journalism that Northwestern is most proud of, news background, but that was the best school. So I went to Northwestern knowing I always had sports in the back of my mind.
And as you went along with that into your jobs, you switched around a little bit. I believe you went to WILX for a little bit, and you went to the Flint area. But then in 2013, you joined wdiv Detroit for sports reporting. What made this job stand out from the rest?
I remember thinking it was such a big deal that I was interviewing at wdiv. This was one of the top NBC stations in the country. Bernie Smilovitz was a legend, and I remember he called me, and I was nervous. I wanted to put on a good show for him because I just realized that the history of wdiv was strong, and that would be a great place for me to go. Plus, I had been in the state of Michigan for my previous 2 jobs. I've been covering these teams, and I knew that Detroit was such a huge sports town. 4 teams, 4 championship teams. Then you had Michigan, Michigan State, Oakland, U of D. It was just so rich in history of sports, and I knew I wanted to be here.
And then in late 2023, very recently, you started with WGR to join the JR Morning shows with your co-hosts Guy Gordon and Lloyd Jackson for a talk show. I know it still includes a bit of sports, but do you like doing more general talk show reporting, or is sports still your favorite go-to in journalism?
I would say, just like when I was a little girl, sports is my tops. I love it for the same reasons I did back then, but it was a family decision that I wanted to make, to be home with my 2-year-old daughter a little bit more, because as you probably know, sports is nights. It's